Zanarkand is on the other side, you know?
I know.
Uni is gonna get the final Aeon, you know?
I know.
I still haven't thought of anything.
Me neither.
What are we gonna do?
We'll do something. We just don't know enough yet. Until we do, we really can't help Yuna. Let's go to Zanarkand. We'll find something there. It'll all come together. I know it.
Hey. Just now, you sounded like a leader, you know?
Star of the Zanarkand Abes. Didn't anyone tell you?
Aha! Huh?
Ah, the son of Jecht.
Riku, run ahead and tell Auron.
You are not fighting him alone!
Just go, go!
Now is your time to die. Prepare yourself, son of Jecht.
Not if I can help it!
Save some for Kimahri!
Lady Yuna, it is a pleasure.
Yuna.
Ascending so soon? Allow me to say something to the last Ronso before I leave. Yours was truly a gallant race. They threw themselves at me to bar my path. One after another.
No.
Kimahri.
You could end the suffering of this poor Ronso.
I don't understand you.
Allow Kimahri to die and release him from his pain. Spira is a land of suffering and sorrow caught in a spiral of death. To destroy, to heal Spira, I will become Sin. Yes, with your help. Come with me, Yuna. Once I have become the next Sin, your father will be freed again.
What do you know?
Pitiful mortal.
Your hope ends here! And your meaningless insistence with it!
Death awaits you. Do you not want to heal Spira's sorrow? Let death carry you off into peaceful slumber.
You can't run from your fate.
Death awaits you. Death awaits you.
And stay up there!
He will become sin with my help.
Lies. Forget them.
If he becomes sin, Sir Jecht will be saved.
We're leaving.
You know something, tell me! Tell me.
Sins. My old man.
You hit your head.
Sin is my old man. My old man became Sin. I don't know how or why he did it. I felt him inside. And when I did, I knew it was true. My old man's spirit is suffering. Sorry.
Even knowing that Sin is your father, still, you know I must.
I know. Let's get him. I think my old man would want that.
You'd fight your own father?
Yeah, no problem there.
About your old man. You sure this ain't some kind of bad toxin dream or something? Then, Chapu. I think I'll just pretend I didn't hear nothing. I'm getting a little confused, yeah? Why'd all this have to happen?
We'll learn when we arrive, soon.
What are those?
Those are faith. A summoning. Someone is using these faith. Someone is drawing energy from all of them.
This many?
Who wields power on this scale? And what could they be calling?
Hey, you know something, don't ya? Spill the beans!
Look not to others for knowledge. This is your journey, too.
Uni might die, you know?
No. Auron's right.
Huh?
This is our... This is my story. What? Hey?
welcome home.
You...
Remember me? We met in Bavel.
Yeah?
But that wasn't the first time we met. I've known about you for a long time. A long, long time.
I feel like I know you too. Where are we?
Silly, don't recognize your own home?
What's gotten into you, hey?
Wake up! Wake up!
Wait, this is a dream.
Precisely.
A dream? Are you crazy? I don't have time to be dreaming now.
You're wrong. It's not that you're dreaming. You are a dream.
Huh? Wait a sec.
Long ago, there was a war.
Yeah, with Machina, right?
Yes, a war between Zanarkand and Bavel. Bavel's Machina assured their victory from the start. Spira had never seen such power. The summoners of Zanarkand didn't stand a chance. Zanarkand was doomed to oblivion. That's why we tried to save it, if only in a memory.
What did you do?
The remaining summoners and the townspeople that survived the war, they all became faith for the summoning.
The summoning? You mean sin?
No, I mean this place. A Zanarkand that never sleeps.
What?
The dreams of the faith summoned the memories of the city. They summoned all the buildings, all the people who lived there.
The people? What? They're all dreams? Me? Too?
Yes, you're a dream of the faith. You, your father, your mother, everyone, all dreams. And if the faith stopped dreaming,
No! So what if I'm a dream? I like being here.
we've been dreaming so long. We're tired. Would you and your father, would you let us rest? Both you and your father have been touched by sin. Sin, the one around whom all Spira, the spiral, revolves.
What are you saying?
You two are more than just dreams now.
Wake up! Wake up, please!
Just a little more, and maybe you are the dream that will end our dreaming at last.
Are you all right? Oh, phew.
Hey! We were so worried about you.
You okay?
I'm okay.
What happened?
Nothing. I blacked out. I was dreaming. You called me. And I woke up. Nothing like a good nap. Well, I'm ready. Let's go.
Looks like we got a job to do, yeah?
If anything should happen in the water, we're relying on you three. If it gets dangerous, pull out quick.
Right.
Be careful, okay?
will be upon us soon. She has sent fiends to test our summoner's strength.
Who is she?
Yunalesca.
Lady Yunalesca!
In Zanarkand, she awaits the arrival of the strongest.
She is still alive?
As much as Micah and Seymour.
I see.
Lost your nerve?
No. Nothing frightens me now.
Braska would be proud.
Then I must not let him down.
It comes!
Can't we rest a little?
No need. We reach the summit soon.
I know. That's why I want to stop for a bit. Soon means that there's not much time left.
Riku.
Fine. I'll think on the way.
Hey, come on, let's go.
We are. Almost there, aren't we?
We've come a long way.
What's so funny?
You remind me of myself. Before, the closer I came to Zanarkand, the more I wondered. When we arrive, Braska will call the final Aeon. He will fight Sin, then die. I thought my mind was made up long before. But when I stood here, my resolve wavered.
Never would have figured. Legendary Guardians choke sometimes too, yeah?
Legendary Guardian. I was just a boy. A boy about your age, actually. I wanted to change the world too. But I changed nothing. That is my story.
A city dead for 1,000 years. A city I had to see with my own eyes. The end of Yuna's journey. The last chapter in my story. My thoughts, they kept floating up and then slipping through my fingers, slipping away before I could pin them down with words.
Yuna, I say no. If we go down there, then you'll... Riku, you're a true friend, and I thank you, but I must go. Down to Zanarkand. I'm not saying we shouldn't go, but shouldn't we think about it some more? There's gotta be some kind of way we can save you, Yuna! All my life, I knew this moment would come. Yuni... Thank you, Riku. Thank you for everything. Don't say that, Yuni. It's not over yet. Tell Sid, thank you. No, you can tell him yourself. Please. Yuni, don't say that because we're gonna see each other again, okay? Kimahri, let's go. Sir Auron, Kimahri told me, when my father wanted me taken from Bavel to Besaid, it was you who told Kimahri, right? I had always wanted to meet you someday. I am truly glad that I had that chance. Having you as a guardian was so great an honor. I don't know how to thank you. Perhaps, if I defeat Sin, that will be my thanks to you. That's what I'll do. Yes. I will challenge Sin. I will defeat Sin. If you are all there watching this, then I guess Sin is already gone. And so am I. I suppose. Anyway, I just wanted to say, Sir Kimahri, do you remember the first day we met? I was only 7. My father had defeated Sin, and all Bavel was celebrating. Everyone was saying what a hero my father was. I was so happy. But when night came, it occurred to me. My father had defeated Sin, and now he was dead. Now, I was all alone. I couldn't sleep. So I wandered into the town, away from the celebrating crowds. I stood on the bridge in Bavel, where my father and I had parted. Standing there, alone, I could see the fields where he had fought Sin. Then, you appeared, Kimahri. You said you were looking for the daughter of Braska, remember? At first, I was so scared. Until I realized what a gentle person you are. You weren't used to talking to children. When I told you that I was Braska's daughter, you said you would take me as far from Bavel as you could. That it was the wish of a man facing death. I think I cried then, because that was when I knew my father was dead, and I would never see him again. You just held me, without saying a word. I cried after we got to Besaid, too. When you tried to go, after leaving me in the care of the temple, I held on to you crying, "Don't go, don't go." And you listened, Kimahri. You stayed. Kimahri, thank you. Thank you so much. And I've always liked your broken horn. Wakka, Lulu. I'll never forget my days spent with you, growing up in Besaid. We always played together, us and Chapu. That's why I was always so happy, I think. And when you refused to let me become a summoner, and I did it anyway, I'm sorry. I've always wanted to apologize. You know, when you tried to stop me then, really, I was happy. I could tell you really cared about me. You were like my big brother and sister. No, I think you really were my big brother and sister. What else? I love watching you play blitzball, Wakka. I even love it when you scold me, Lulu. Really. I guess that leaves the newest guardian. Star player of the Zanarkand Abes. You are. I am. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that we met. We haven't even known each other that long, but it's funny. So this is what it feels like. It's a much more wonderful feeling than anything I had ever imagined. Wonderful. But it hurts sometimes. I wonder. I just want to say thank you for everything. Maybe that's why it hurts. When I think about us never being together again at all. I'm afraid. No, I shouldn't say that. I'll do that part over.
What you up to? listen to my story. This may be our last chance. Hey, there was more, right? I mean, like that time. Anyone?
I think
Yes?
I think that we should stop. Maybe. For now. Let's go.
Looks like the far plane.
Close enough.
Journeyer of the long road, name yourself.
I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the island of Besaid.
Your eyes, my dear, Show me the long road you have traveled. Very good. You have journeyed well. Lady Yunalesca will surely welcome your arrival. Go to her now and bring your guardians with you. Go.
Yes. If it might benefit the future of Spira, I will gladly give my life. It is the highest honor for which a guardian might ask. Use my life, Lady Yoken, and rid Spira of sin.
What was that?
Our predecessors.
She said Lady Yoken, didn't she? Wait, she guarded High Summoner Yoken?
This dome is filled with fireflies. It's like one gigantic sphere. People's thoughts remain here, forever.
No other way. Use me and defeat sin. Only then will the people accept you.
I don't care about them! I need you, Mother! No one else!
I don't have much time left.
Hey, wasn't that...
Seymour?
Hey, Braska. You don't have to do this.
Thank you for your concern.
Fine, I said my piece.
Well, I haven't. Lord Braska, let us go back. I don't want to see you die.
You knew this was to happen, my friend.
Yes, but I cannot accept it.
Orin, I am honored that you care for me so. But I have come to kill grief itself. I will defeat sin and lift the veil of sorrow covering Spira. Please understand, Orin.
Are the trials ahead?
Probably.
Here too, huh? Give me a break. I was expecting, parades and fireworks.
You can ask for them after I defeat Sin.